Hello, my beautiful soul followers. So, in truth, I had no intention of going live today. I had no intention of going live, but I was sitting here enjoying just some beautiful music and the weather, of course. It's amazing out here, and I was just feeling crazy inspired. I was listening to some music, and I was thinking over some client appointments I had the pleasure to do today, and then just some conversations I've been in. And one of those conversations today, I was texting with somebody in my world, and I was texting and I went, I shouldn't say this. I had this moment of shoulding on myself, of going, I shouldn't play all my cards here. I shouldn't really just crack this open. This might be too much. This might be too real, too vulnerable, too loving, in truth. This might be too loving, because I came across some memories, and I shared a moment about one of those memories. And I was like, it's my heart space. It's my heart space cracking open for this person. I went, this could be too much. And in thinking about it, it ended up being exactly what I'm seeing right now, and that is this relationship chess. So many of us these days, and again, I didn't plan this live stream. It really was just soul inspired. So I'm here just sharing, because the fact is I'm seeing this pattern in all our relationships. But of course, I love to talk about our romantic relationships, but in truth, all our relationships, of this chess being played. This not really opening our hearts up and allowing ourselves to just be seen. To just be seen. And whether that's seen in our love and our compassion, or seen in our darkness and our sadness and our hurt and our discomfort and our sadness. The fact is, I'm seeing a lot of, oh, I can't do that, I shouldn't do that, or if they don't think that way, or they don't feel that way, then I shouldn't play my cards. I shouldn't say anything. A lot of, again, shoulding. The birds are just going nuts over my head. Sorry if you can't hear me. But a lot of shoulding, a lot of saying that basically we should not be really cracking our hearts open and allowing others in our lives to see us. We should be playing this kind of manipulative, and yes, it is manipulative, kind of game with those that we love and we care about, or even those that we want to build a relationship or heal from. A lot of times we think we're loving people. We think we're stepping in. We think we're showing them our heart spaces and our love spaces, and yes, any true connective relationship is coming from the heart space. That's not saying that we're not arguing with somebody. That's not saying that we are agreeing. But it's coming from the heart space area. A lot of times we do our relationships from our brains of okay, if I move here, if I move in this position, then they're going to move in this position. But what if they move in that position? Believe me, as a Virgo, I can jump on board with that. But again, I was seeing some clients today, and I was listening to some music, and music is so incredibly inspiring to me. And it was about how we need to just go in. We need to share our hearts. And I was thinking about a past memory, and how at that time I was trying to kind of guard my heart. I didn't want to go all in with this person. I didn't really want to crack that piece open and share. And then looking back, I was like, I'm not going to take this opportunity not to share my gratitude, not to share this moment with this other human. But the fact is, if we really want to be in those loving relationships, yes, we are going to get hurt. Welcome to being human. We are going to get hurt. But if we want that orgasmic life, and part of that orgasmic life is those orgasmic relationships. I'm not just talking about partnerships. I'm talking about orgasmic relationships with our kids, those beautiful heart-centered relationships with children, with friends, with family, and then, of course, with those we love. Of course, with those we love. We must surrender, and I know we all hate this word. I know so many people hate that word. but we must surrender right here. We have to go into our heart spaces, and we have to let go of all the blocks. And guess what? Sometimes those blocks are sharing our truths, sharing something that might not be easy to share, sharing something that's hard to hear, or having those difficult conversations. But when we avoid that, when we are trying to guess what somebody else is saying, we totally neglect the importance of that relationship. We are actually disrespecting the relationship, because what we're doing is we're taking that other person's responsibility, their thoughts, their actions, their emotions. We think we know them, but guess what? We're new people every single day. And if I think back to a year ago, I was not completely, but I was a pretty different person. There was a lot of different pieces of me that have transitioned. Yes, at the core, I'm still me. But there's a lot of pieces that change in short periods of time in our lives, especially I know from a collective consciousness right now, there is so much change happening in the world. And so to assume that you know how somebody else is going to react, to assume that you're going to know somebody else's emotions, their thoughts, their feelings, is doing a disrespect to that other person, to the relationship, and also to yourself, because this is the space where we grow. And yes, like I said, we will get hurt. And that is where our growth is a lot of times. That is where our growth is. The growth is in the opening up, the going deeper into our heart spaces, allowing our trusting, being vulnerable. And, if we get hurt, going, okay, that was a learning lesson. And this is a lesson right here too, dealing with my emotions and moving through. But we do more of a disservice to ourselves. And in truth, we do more damage and restrict our growth more when we don't share our truth, when we don't share what's really going on in our hearts, and when we play a game. And that is really my message for today, is to stop playing fucking games with your relationships of all kinds. Stop playing games with your relationships. Your relationships are not a game. That other soul is not a game. That other soul is another person to connect with and to learn from and to share heart space and energy with. I challenge you, because I'm all about eye gazing and connecting from a deeper space, and our eyes are incredibly soulful a lot of times, and especially our left eye. That is our feminine aspect of our energy field. So it's the emotional aspect. And so I challenge you today to walk around and connect to people from their left eye. Connect with people more from a heart space. Slow the fuck down in your mental and just go, what are they trying to tell me here? What is their energy trying to share with me? What are their words trying to share with me? Instead of playing the game in our heads and going, oh, if I move here, I don't play chess, so I can't even kind of go through the game. But if I move my queen here and they move their king here, or whatever it is, the fact is, stop getting into that game mindset and get into here, get into your heart space. Because guess what? Most people aren't trying to fuck you over. Most people in our lives are just trying to be loved. We as souls, we as humans, are wanting to give and receive love. And if you're one of my followers, you know that is a stable center point to my teachings, is that we're all trying to give and receive love. And sometimes we do it in a messed up way. Sometimes we're still growing and expanding. And so today, this weekend, because it is a beautiful, beautiful 4th of July weekend, try to connect with somebody more from the heart space and get out of your brain and your mindset, and also get out of your hurt. If you're in this space of hurt and shut down in your heart, go and do some work on it. I'm not saying to break out of it, to be well, just move on. No, but process through it. And then also, if somebody else hurt you, if somebody else did you wrong, or whatever it might be, talk to them, communicate. Try to go and have that open-hearted communication with that other human. And if you're loving somebody, if you're loving somebody, if you want to share, if you want to just like jump into the juiciness, sometimes that's when we close down the most. And so I suggest you just share from your heart space. Share that love. Share that orgasmic energy. And guess what? If it gets you in trouble, it gets you in trouble. But at least you were you. At least you were sharing the real you. That's not to say go throw up on somebody about your entire life and just like overshare, because that can be a lack of vulnerability and truth. But if something continues to come up in your heart and you just need to share it, share it. Don't hold it in. Don't hold it in, because Spirit is most likely telling you to share that for a reason. And it's giving you that heart space energy for a reason. And so go and share, and stop treating your games like your games like relationships. Stop treating your relationships like a game. They're not games. They are beautiful, connective growth elements and lessons in our lives, but they are not games. And so go and connect with some other people in your life. Thank you, everybody who jumped on. Leon, what is the difference with playing games and healthy manipulation? So I don't believe in healthy. I'm not a huge fan of the word manipulation in relationships. Now, yes, we are all sharing and there is this give and take. However, I'm not a fan of the word manipulation. As you're going to find Monday, I have an article coming out. I don't believe that relationships should be manipulative. Although we are all, I think there is a truth and an honoring we have to have of that. Like, yes, we all have this manipulative characteristic within us, but to try to take that out of our relationships, because that is not a manipulation, is not a heart-centered soul sharing. That is truly, at least from my perspective, and others might have a different perspective on this, but from my perspective, it really isn't a heart-centered space of sharing. It is trying to get somebody else to do what we want versus going, hey, this is my desire, just really opening up and being truthful and honest. And so I think that would be my answer to that question. Thank you, David, for your comments. No, I will be no one's child. Really? Like, will you be my child? Like, no. Or can I be your child? That's crazy. That's crazy. Be gone with you. So, all right, guys. All right. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. Go step into that heart space. Go step into that heart space and share and connect and get out of the games. Get out of the games. Get into that heart and start just really loving and being in that moment with that other human. In that moment with that other human. So, all right, guys. I love you. See you tomorrow.